Hey everybody, it's Jazz and we're aging with pizzazz. Today we're talking about exhaustion. I'm talking about exhaustion, tired, and how I need a cup of coffee to get started in the morning. I always make my coffee after I get dressed in the morning. I go and make my coffee and then I sit back down and I pick up my phone and I scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. And the time passes while I'm sipping my coffee. I do spend a good solid 20-25 minutes scrolling and drinking my coffee because it's my first part of the day. And if I'm going to tackle this day, I need to start it off at my pace, my speed, with my cup of coffee. Me personally, I like mine light and sweet, a little bit of creamer, maybe a little bit more of creamer, and my sweetener. And that's it. Love it. Take my coffee, get dressed. By the time I'm done scrolling, it's time to start the day, pack up, get ready, and head off to work. During the day, I'm not even going to lie to you, I want coffee. I always feel like, I need a cup of coffee. But I make it through the day, and at 3 o'clock I come home, and that's when the second half of the day comes. You might need your cup of coffee on the way home. My commute is pretty small, so I don't have to drive too far, but you have to get ready to switch into that mode. You're going to leave behind the work mode, whether you're a teacher or you're a businesswoman or you're a mechanic or you're a stay-at-home mom. You drop them off at school, you come back, and you probably need some coffee to keep going. For me, I come back at 3 o'clock. That's when my workday ends, and I have to start part 2, which means I have to transition from my work person into mother, wife, housekeeper, chef, and all the millions of other jobs that we do after we get home from work. So I need the 3 o'clock cup of coffee. I'm tired. If I sit down and I skip it, all that other stuff isn't going to happen. So I usually make the cup of coffee and then I touch base with everybody. You know, when you have a teenager, there's always something going on and somebody has to let you know. My husband is a pretty hard worker and he's super busy and he likes to chit chat about his day, and me too. So I have my coffee and I'm sipping it sometimes with him, sometimes with my daughter, sometimes by myself. And then I'm ready to tackle part 2 of the day and throw in a load of laundry, decide what's for dinner, start prepping dinner while I'm sipping my coffee still. The afternoon cup takes a little bit longer to finish. And then the day is over. I find that I need a perfect mixture to make it. I find that if it's not perfect the way that I want it, it's a problem. It doesn't taste right. So I need it perfect. And I always think about when I'm at the diner and the ladies are so wonderful there and they come over, oh, can I refill your cup? And you're like, no, please, no. And sometimes I cover my hand, which is not very polite. And you're like, no, thank you, because you just worked on this experiment and you don't have your creamer from home and you don't have your sweetener or your sugar from home. So you got to work with what they give you. You get it perfect and then it's not done. And sometimes they're quick to refill it. And oh no, I have to start all over. But coffee is definitely what helps me through exhaustion. It helps me to feel revived. It's also a comfort for me. I love to drink my coffee with my girlfriends when I go out to breakfast with them, or sometimes when I catch up on the phone, I have a cup of coffee. And it's like, part of my therapy sessions. Sometimes my therapy sessions with my girlfriends include wine, and sometimes it's my water bottle. But most of the time it's a cup of coffee. So I want to know from you, do you need your cup of coffee to get through the day? Do you need it to get through the second half? Are you a 1 cup a day person? Are you a 2 cup a day person? When when I was younger, it was only 1 cup because I had children and I was nursing. So I only had 1 cup in the morning, no cup in the afternoon. And then as they got older, I needed a second cup to keep up with, toddlers and young children. So I'm asking you, do you love your coffee? Do you need it as much as I need it? Do you really need it, or is it mental? Do you think you could get through a day without it? I have tried, and sometimes it leads to a huge headache, which I believe is my body withdrawing from the caffeine, We don't have soda in the house. We are just literally water, juice, and coffee people. So I think this is the only caffeine that I get. And I clearly am in need of it. So that's my question for you. Do you need it to get through the day? What's your average cup? Maybe you want to take it down a notch. Maybe you need to increase. But anything that can help us with exhaustion, right, as we go through this path of life and we enter all these new stages, whether we're parents of toddlers or whether we're like me and our children are leaving and they're older and they're not really around as much because they're busy and they're hanging out. Do we need this cup of coffee? I definitely do. Let me know.